Another hype video for Lonzo Ball has surfaced showing him running, cutting, jumping, and dunking. We're going to be talking about what this means for Lonzo Ball and what this means for the Chicago Bulls. This is Rico Greenhowe, and this is another episode of Bulls Digest. Before we jump into it, I wanted to let you know that 77% of you guys that watch the videos are not subscribed to the channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with the latest news and happenings around your Chicago Bulls. Without further ado, guys, let's jump into the topic of the day, which is Lonzo Ball hitting us with another hype video out here, guys. And so if you've got a chance to look at the video, he is in an individual training session. He's doing a series of things where he is in constant motion, whether it is running, he's coming off curls, he's going off reverse pivots and things like that into dunks, guys. And if you want to actually see this video, you can catch it attached to this article, which was in Chicago Sports, which is new Lonzo Ball workout video shows him moving comfortably, making sharp cuts and turns, guys. And this is what AK had to say, which essentially mimics a lot of what we've been seeing, guys. And this is after the draft was over, him talking about Lonzo Ball. And he's saying this, guys, like, look, we are looking to get him ready by training camp. He continues to keep working at this point. He's here in Chicago working out. He also works out in LA too as well. So they're always keeping in touch. But one of the key signs here for me is that he's saying, look, I think he's going to be around the team in Summer League. So that right there has me believe that Lonzo might, in fact, be maybe suiting up for us in Summer League. I know it's nothing official out there, but maybe we might see something there. He's certainly going to be around practicing in the Summer League, so he'll be going at some guys maybe with some little bit more 5-on-5 situation here. So on top of that, you know, looking at the fact that he continues to say he's strengthening himself and he's looking to see where he's going to be at in the next couple months. So that's pretty right on par with what AK had been saying. It's kind of like a wait and see method, right? And so the one thing that is really scary for me and how the Chicago Bulls have been operating, guys, is going back to what Lonzo had to say, guys, in his podcast. And this comment that he made always makes me wonder, like, how he even got to the Chicago Bulls. And to be fair, guys, I'm going to say this. When I went and watched Lonzo Ball as a rookie, I watched him be injured, right, in that very summer league, all right, because he was playing in the big baller shoes, and you've seen the stories about the big baller shoes and, you know, about how that perhaps could have led to some injuries, which I think it possibly, quite frankly, it might have, guys, because I did watch a lot of his UCLA games as well. And I think that, to be honest with you, I didn't really see any injuries start to surface for him until pretty much his last game at UCLA when he limped off the court against then a Kentucky team that had De'Aaron Fox. It had Bam on the team, and it also had Malik Monk. And so he had been pretty healthy up to that point. It looked like he was going to be fine. He got to the Summer League. He was wearing the shoes. I think within the first 2 or 3 games, he ends up taking the shoes off and going with the Kobe's, I think is what he would like to wear. And he would say, hey, look, I can wear whatever I wanted to wear. But he eventually missed some time due to some injuries, I think, with the legs and the foot, stuff like that going on. So I think that might have been the start maybe for the knee stuff. We don't know. But going back to the point, guys, this was interesting what he had to say initially about his injury. He said, look, to make a long story short, it started with a meniscus tear, and it started with the Lakers when I tore it the first time, and I tore it a couple more times to the point where, look, there's basically not a meniscus. It's bone on bone, guys. And so that is tough to me, guys. So I'm like, look, when he admits that he essentially tore up his knee with the Lakers, I'm thinking to myself, like, how did you get to the Pelicans? More or less, how did you get to the Chicago Bulls? I mean, they had to know that my man was facing some knee injuries, and then here we are, right? Like, oh, you know what I mean? But anyhow, man, look, point being, I'm rooting for Lonzo. I hope he does get back. I just think that it's going to be not with us necessarily. I think that, you know, we're going to probably see what he can do He's missed a lot of time. And I've always said this. If you look at the video, you see him shooting the mid-range jumper. You see him shooting the basketball pretty effortless. And I think his shot has gotten a lot better since he's gotten to the league. I think that he's going to be on the lines of a Shawn Livingston. I think if he does come back and he's effective, I think he's going to be a Shawn Livingston type of player. And Shawn Livingston was the guard that played for the Golden State Warriors. He had a really terrible knee injury, guys, and he was able to fight his way back to the court, guys. And I think that that makes a lot of sense for me. I think that that's what we're looking at with Lonzo Ball and his situation, guys. And, one more thing that I want to note out there for the people that are saying, okay, well, why, what could we have done with Lonzo Ball, right? Like, there's nothing necessarily that we could have done for him to pick up his player option, right? Like, he definitely could have done that. But there's something that the Chicago Bulls could have done to try to be a little bit more proactive, guys. And that goes into the waive and stretch situation, which I personally don't like it at this point now. I think it's a bit late in the day for this. But this would mean essentially that we would have waived it and stretched it out twice the years remaining on the deal, which would have made Ball on the cap for roughly about $7.1 million in each of the next 3 seasons here. And so with that being said, if the Bulls did a waive and stretch with Ball at the time, we would have been $2.85 million below the luxury tax with only 12 players spots filled, right? And so that's just kind of letting you know, from a situation financially what we would have been looking at if we would have done that, guys. The other thing that it's mentioning here is that would we have gone out there and tried to medically retire him, which I think is completely off the table as well, guys, when you look at this, because he's doing everything he can to be out there and play. I think that the Chicago Bulls would probably face a lot of fight there from the player union, and justly so, guys. I think that Lonzo Ball is doing everything he can do to be out there and play, and I just hope that he eventually does play. I just think that it's not going to necessarily be an expansive role with us, guys. And so let me know what you guys think in the comments, guys. Do you think that the Chicago Bulls should have waived and stretched Lonzo? Do you think that they should have outright cut him loose, which I think would not happen? But let me know what you guys are thinking. And also, too, lastly, do you think that Lonzo Ball is going to come back and be a part of this team? Like, is he going to be a part of the rotation? Do you think that even though the Chicago Bulls have brought Giddey over, it does look like a younger movement, there is still room for Lonzo with Kobe White, with Dosunmu, with Giddey, guys? Let me know in the comments what you guys think. And even though we have a guy on the roster that admittedly is saying that he has had a torn meniscus essentially since he's been in the league with the Lakers, and we have him on our roster, and we don't know what we're going to do. I'm still saying go Bulls, guys. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.